Hi everyone, welcome to Tiflydesigns and happy holidays. Today we're sharing all the goodies we made with Simon Says Stamp Card Kit of the month for December 2021, and it's called Santa's Helpers. So I hope you guys enjoy, and here we go. So these are all the supplies from the Simon Says Stamp December Card Kit, and the images are so cute. Elves, and it's featuring supplies from Craft Consortium, and it's called Made by Elves. I also got this 12 by 12 pad that has the prettiest images ever. I can get a lot of use out of this. I can see me cutting out all these sentiments to go on cards. Look at that. Isn't that cool? I was trying to get the 6 by 6, but that one was sold out, so I got the 12 by 12, and I figure I can get a bunch of cards from it, because these pages are so wide. I can actually cut these pages in half and end up getting 2 cards per sheet. All I gotta do is add an image right here, and it's done. So beautiful. And you get 3 sheets of 4. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4 sheets. Wow. And then the back is double-sided, so the back is a different pattern. Look at these cute little hats for the elves. You can cut out and use them. Have them on the blue background or black background. So cool. So pretty. And you can cut out all these images and use them on the cards or scrapbook pages or whatever. So I got the 12 by 12 paper pad, so I'm gonna put that to the side, and we're about to see how many cards we can do using the kit. So here we go. For the first card, I stamped one of the images from the stamp set, and it's a snowman with a little elf causing mischief on the side. So I'm gonna stamp it. I'm using the Simon Says black ink and just stamping my image, and we're going to use our Copics to color the image, and we'll put the card together. Once we finished coloring the image, I felt that the elf, his outfit was a little boring. So I add some dots to his hat, and I'm using my white gel pen and some lines to his little shirt. And we just added 2 pieces of white cardstock at the bottom as hills or as snow drifts, and we're gonna stamp our sentiment right away, and we're using it in our Misty, and it just says Merry Christmas. And this stamp is from these stamps is from the stamp set. Then we cut some of the presents or gifts from one of the pattern papers, and I'm just gluing them a couple on the right side of our scene, and then we glued 2 of them in the snowman's hand. This kit was so pretty. I loved all the images in the kit, and I made, I believe, 12 or more cards, and I could have done more. And some of the images I used on 2 cards, because the kit comes in with some images that you can use and add foam adhesive and add dimension, and it was so much dimension to be added that we end up getting 2 cards from each scene, and you see what I mean when I show you those cards. For card number 2, I cut a piece of the pattern paper, a 4 by 5 1/4, and I add a piece of red cardstock below, going across below the piece of pattern paper. And first, I'm going to add my sentiment to that red cardstock, and again, I'm using Merry Christmas. And I noticed that my stamp was a little dirty, so I had to clean it a little and put it back, because I'm using embossing powder and I don't want it to be discolored. So I use my powder tool, and we're going to stamp our image and add some Simon Says fine white embossing powder, detailed white, and heat that up so our sentiment will be ready. If you notice, my mat is a new or a different color. I bought this one on Amazon for like $25, and it's 18 by 24, but I love the light color background. It's actually light gray, and you guys can check it out on Amazon. Very reasonable. So then I cut a piece of white cardstock, and with my stitched, I use this set of dies so much. It's from MFT, and I cut some white cardstock, then another piece of pattern paper with the snow flakes, and then we're gonna add our little elf in the middle. Add this to a pink card base, and that's it for card number 2. This is one of the sheets I was talking about with the layers to add dimension. But when you add all the layers, it's so much depth and height to it that if you put it in an envelope to try to mail it, you will need like a little box, I think. So I chose to make 2 cards out of each sheet by using one layer on one card and then the second layer on another card. So we have, if you can see, this is layer number 1. But for this first card, I actually laid all the images, laid all the layers on without any dimensional stickers or dimensional foam adhesive. It adds just a little height or dimension. The reason why I have 2 sets of these is I bought one kit and I gave the stamp set away so I can get these little images. So I put all the dimension. This one I put all the layers on flat. For the other cards, I use one layer and add some dimension on one card, and add the next layer and add some dimension on that card. So I actually created a square card for each of these sets. And here I'm trying to find a sentiment for our card, and I had ended up using Happy Holidays. Somehow I don't have that clip, but you see that at the end of the video. For card number 4, I used one of the layers like you see here, and I added some dimension by adding our double-sided foam tape. And you see that nice dimension. I love this image. So this one I added a piece of white cardstock, and I'm trying to put a piece of red between that checkered pattern paper and the image. So I'm just adding a strip of red cardstock. I think the first one was a little too big. I didn't want it to be like the main focal point at the bottom. So I add just a tiny skinny strip. And then my pattern paper. So now we have 2 different cards with the same image. I wanted to leave the first ones square like I said, and the second one somehow different. For card number 5, I used another one of the sheets with this image on it, and I made the card square again and added on some red cardstock and that polka dot light blue and white paper, pattern paper. And for the other layers, as you can see, I'm adding foam tape to the little train that's sitting on our little table, and we're just adding certain parts of the layers. And then we're going to put a scene together for our second card. So for our second card, we wanted to create a floor for our scene. So I used the stone wall stencil from Alter New and some of the new Simon Says stamp ink pads. And the first one is latte, and the second one is cappuccino. And we're going to start with the light one and just add a little color with the darker color, a little color with the darker color, a little color with the darker ink pad. So we're using the light color first, And then here's our cappuccino. I love to use stencils because when you remove the stencil, it's like, wow. So I cut that down and use a little piece at the bottom of our card. And I wanted to separate, like, use like a piece of darker cardstock to separate the two scenes. And I actually used the remnant in my blending brush from the latte ink pad and put a little bit behind the scene. And then we're gonna add our little table or whatever that is. And then we're gonna add this little elf that I cut out from one of the papers, and we're gonna add him to the other side like so. And then we just need a sentiment, which I'm gonna cut out from one of the pattern papers also, and add it to the middle like so. And I thought I would add a couple of the presents or gifts on top of our table, because that space was seem a little empty. Then we added our card front to this peppermint pattern paper and added to our card base. And these are the two cards from this scene. So card number 7 is this scene, which I add 2 of the layers to our image, so you can see some lot of dimension, and add it to the checkered on a piece of white cardstock first, and then to the checkered pattern paper. And for card number 8, we use another layer from our card and my favorite die set. And we're gonna add some of that same red checkered paper from the first card, and we cut out the bottom of the scene so it looks like it's actually sitting on a floor made from that pattern paper. She is so cute. And we're trying to decide which side of the paper we're going to add our card front to, and we chose a lighter color, which I think was better. And then we're just going to add this to a white card base and add our sentiment, which is white embossing powder on some red cardstock. Says Merry Christmas. And that's it for card number 7 and 8. For card number 9 and 10, we're putting our layers again. We use our first layer, and we're going to add some foam adhesive and add this to the first card. The other cards I showed the card finished, so this one I'm actually putting together on screen. A lot of work. So then we're going to add just the sleigh to add some dimension. And then we have we have the first layer, and we're going to add the third layer to this one. Then one scene, I made the square card as usual, and for the second one, I'm using Hero Hero Arts Mist. I believe this is the mist color. I love this light. I love this cardstock. It's so pretty. And we're going to create snowdrift at the bottom with our drift die set from MFT. And these little trees came from a die set from Simon Says Stamp. It's the one with the houses, and it has some trees with it. Don't remember the name, but I just used the trees to put to the side. And you could use any kind of tree you have, or just cut some rectangles and make it look like trees. So I added two to the left and one to the right, and then we're going to add our sleigh in the middle. Then we chose this snowflake pattern paper to add our scene to. Like I said, I just love that blue cardstock from Hero Arts. It is so pretty, and it's perfect for skies. So here are card number 9 and 10. I think this one is actually my favorite with the sets. My favorite out of the, was it 4 sets? I think that one was my favorite. Card number 11, I put together with this die set from Whimsy Stamps. And since it had that 3-frame happening, I decided to use 3 different scenes. However, after I put the card together, I realized that one of the scenes didn't match. Because the other 2 scenes have like the little balls, the little Christmas tree ornaments hanging. And then the final one with the blue background doesn't. And it's bothering me a little. I might end up turning it into a mini slimline card and cut off the ending. But then I at first I put the red in a frame, and I didn't like how it looked. It was too much red going on, so I added the white frames instead, and added a Merry Christmas at the bottom from one of the Simon Says sentiment strips. And it's just, I like it, but like I said, the ending scene is bothering me. But this is card number 11. That's it. Just put 3 the scenes inside. Card number 12 is one of my favorite in the bunch. It just is. I started with since I tell you I'm in love with this blue paper from Hero Arts. And I started with that, and then I'm going to add some tumbled glass at the top just to darken it a little. And then it seemed like my brush had some green color in it or something. So the color is like a little off, but it worked out. So I add some color at the top, and then we're going to use a piece of pattern paper, a scene from a piece of the pattern paper where there was some trees that look like they have snow and a lot of snow on the ground. I'm adding a little color at the top also for the trees. And then we're going to put a scene together with our elves and whatever else, we'll see. First thing we added was this house that we cut from one of the papers, and we're going to add this little elf hanging from the North Pole sign, and then we have this other girl elf that's dragging a sleigh. But first we created a snowdrift to go at the bottom, and we're going to just put the scene together, and it turned out to be one of my favorites in the cards for this kit that I created, if not my favorite. Then I cut down the scene, added it to a pink card base, and I used that little punch to punch some snowballs to add to the scene. And like I said, I think this is my favorite. But then after I did this one, I thought it was my favorite too. Let me know in the description which one is your favorite, and let me see how many people love the one I love. So this is card number 13, and like I said, the prior card was my favorite until I created this one. Then this became my favorite. So I don't know. And then when I made the tags, they became my favorite. So who knows? So I used a piece of pattern paper with those ornaments hanging from the little branches or whatever you call that, and I created a very tall snowdrift just to create a background for my very busy scene with the elves. So I wanted the elves to pop, and if I put it directly to the pattern paper, they seem to disappear. So I remedied it with that white cardstock. And we're going to add here our scene, which we cut off from one of the pattern papers. I just cut around the top and left everything else at the bottom. So a lot is going on in the scene. I guess we're packing toys and having some fun. So we just added this and created our scene, and then we cut our card down, add our sentiment that says Merry Christmas again on some red cardstock, and add it to a white card base, and that will be it for card number 13. Just a beautiful, I think this is really my favorite, for real, for real, for real. For real. So we have one final scene with the layers, and it's with the snowman. I almost forgot this one for some reason. So we're going to create two cards using some of this one, some of the scene, and some of the scene. Repeating. But this, the first one, the original square piece, we're going to add. We're using our Nouveau glaze, and we're adding it to the snowman. And we're going to use some Martha Stewart crystal glitter to put on top of him. It adds some dimension, added some dimension and some shine. And I loved this scene too. This one from the layered set became my favorite just because of the snowman. I love snowmen in scenes. So I'm adding the glaze, and then we're going to add our glitter. And we're just giving it a slight tap, and then once it's dried, we're going to take a brush and just remove the excess glitter that's on other parts of the card, because if I try to do that before it's dry, then I might mess my little guy up. So we're going to put it to the side to dry, and then wait until it's dry to remove the excess glitter on top of the scene. And you can see I also added a couple spots of glaze in the snow, so I can add some glitter to that also. Too cute. So I use my Stitch Circle Stacks die set from MFT. Say that fast. Stitch Stacks Circle die set. Woo! Anyway, I cut the largest circle, and I'm using my tumbled glass again to create my sky. Then I use the same circle to cut a snowdrift for the bottom of my scene. And we're going to add our snowman like so. Then I had a little extra birdie from the scene that I didn't add to the other scene, and I'm putting him with some foam adhesive on the side. He was too cute to throw in the garbage. So he's right there. And these are the two cards. For the circle one, I just added some polka dot blue paper on the bottom. For the one on the right, I just added some peppermint pink on the side of the scene. Added to a blue card base. And the other one is added to a white card base. I was trying to show you the shine and glitter in the snowman. Tags. For my tags, I'm using the pierced traditional tag stacks die set from MFT, and I use the largest tag and cut it out with some white cardstock. And I have 3 distress ink colors on the screen. They are Crackling Campfire, Salvage Patina, and I don't know how you say this one. I think it's Kitsch Flamingo. So I started with the pink one, which is a Kitsch Flamingo, and I'm coloring a darker at the top and light at the bottom of each tag. And then we're gonna move to Crackling Campfire and do the same. And then we'll move to Salvage Patina. Then I use a brush with some water to add some splatter. You know, with the distress ink, the water just reacts with the ink, and you can just remove color. So I just added some splashes of water and then just dry it with a piece of paper towel, and then we're going to put the tags together. So I try to match the scenes with the colors that I chose in the background. So for the little girl, I noticed that they had a gift that's a little orangish on the floor. So I tried to match that. That's why I used the Crackling Campfire. Then the other one had a little more blue, so the patina. And then the Kish, what's it again? Kish Flamingo has that pink house and stuff in the background, so try to match that. So I'm just gonna add the scene, and then the tags are gonna get all the dimension, all the layers. Although I could have made, you know, two two tags each, but I wanted to see that all the dimension in one scene, see what it looks like, and I love them. Before we add our dimensions though, I decided to add something in the back of the tags, and I use a stamp set and stamp a bunch of sayings that's fitting for tags. And I'm just using some VersaFine ink. And the first saying, this was not on your list. Then for the next tag, we're going to add a gift for someone special. And then for the final one, the final one says, you are impossible to shop for. Love this stamp set. I'm gonna have to keep this one in my stash. So I added all the dimensions and added, I had this twine. I had gotten it from TJ Maxx one time. It's like maybe a couple of years ago, and I have never used it, so I just add some of that twine to the top. They're so cute. And for some reason I forgot to put a pattern paper at the top of the one on the left, but I will add it later. But I love my tags. Love, 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 love my tags. So here we are, 3 pretty tags. So here are all the cards I created, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys are gonna have a lot of fun and great time for the holidays. I used to love the holidays back when I was growing up as a child. Back home in St. Vincent, we had like a stone oven in the yard that you had to burn wood in that oven for like days, so that that oven can be hot enough for you to bake all your goodies for the holidays. We used to have um, found all the family baking their cake in that one stone oven in the yard. We even had neighbors come to bake their cake in that oven, and then all the kids would be in the yard playing while all the festivities were happening. We're mixing batter and kneading bread, and those were the days. Every time I think about it, I want to be sad for the holidays, because then my grandmother and great grandmother are not here anymore, and it was so much fun. So much fun. I miss those times. Holidays not the same anymore. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed watching the video and love the cards. And as you can see in this one, I'm using my white gel pen to kind of spruce up the snow on the trees. And like I said, I hope you enjoyed the video, love the cards, and have a wonderful, wonderful holiday season. I will be coming back tomorrow with another video. I'm trying to share 12 days of videos straight, so wish me luck. I'm still working and full-time and working at night especially. So like I said, I hope you guys enjoy the holidays and have lots of fun. The gifts are not important. Just being with friends and family and having fun. We had such a terrible past couple years. 2020, I should say past year. So we're trying to be grateful for what we have and for being here and for being with each other. So I hope you guys take care of each other, have fun, and I'll see you tomorrow. See ya.